Hey, friend, I hope you know this is Pat Boone, and you and I are enjoying TV Confidential with my buddy Ed.
Ed Robertson with a reminder that Kathleen Bradley will join us in our second hour. We hope you stay tuned for that. In the meantime, April 2026 marks the 50th anniversary of the premiere of Wonder Woman on ABC. With that in mind, we'll mark the occasion by bringing you an encore presentation of a conversation that originally aired in 2012 with our friend Mike Pingel. Mike is the author of a fun new book called Channel Surfing Wonder Woman that tells you everything you ever wanted to know about the classic TV series Wonder Woman starring Lynda Carter. Mike has also written books on The Brady Bunch, Charlie's Angels, and Betty White. He has also been an actor as well as a Hollywood publicist, having worked with such stars as Farrah Fawcett, Pat Boone, the Harlem Globetrotters, Della Reese, and Charlene Tilton. We'll tell you where you can find Mike's book in just a second. But first, Mike Pingel, welcome to TV Confidential.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
What led you to write this book on Wonder Woman?
I was asked to write the book through Allison. I had finished my Q Guide to Charlie's Angels. This is the relaunch of the Q Guide to Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. And they had asked me to write the Wonder Woman book, but then they took it away from me because they had a aficionado that was going to write it. And then they had given me the Brady Bunch book. And so I started diving into the Brady Bunch, and they came back and said, stop that, we want you to do Wonder Woman. So I said, absolutely. I love Lynda Carter, I love Wonder Woman. And so I started doing the Wonder Woman book, and that's how that came about. And basically, a little backward of that, they stopped publishing books in 2009, and I got the rights back, and so this is the relaunch of the book under Channel Surfing Wonder Woman.
And it's a fun book because we're talking about this before we started recording, Mike. To me, Channel Surfing Wonder Woman, it does everything a TV reference book should do. It gives you enough background on how the show came to be, but it also is full of anecdotes and behind-the-scenes stuff from the actors and from the people who made the show. So it's a nice mix of information and fun. And then, of course, you've got all these details about the costumes and some of the Wonder Woman accessories, which were also part of the appeal of that show.
Absolutely. I mean, the base of doing a book like this, of course, are the episodes and wanting to talk to the stars and producers and guest stars and artists and designers or whoever was a part of the series. Since I wasn't there, you want to get the basis, not only what the series and what the fans love about the series, but you want to get the background. You want the backstories. You want to. I always want to get the meat of what people kind of disprove the rumors or prove the rumors or find out different things that went on. And doing books like this is what's really fun is, when fans go, oh, I didn't know that about my series. Thank you so much. And that's, it's I'm kind of like a biographer of old retro TV series. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a lot of fun.
Well, you may not have been there when Wonder Woman was made, Mike, but by the time I finished reading Channel Surfing Wonder Woman, I felt as though you were. It felt as though you were there because you brought me there. I mean, I really got a sense of how that show was made. But
well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, and of course, one of the fun things you just touched on this is there are a lot of interesting factoids about the show that I didn't know about until I read about them in Channel Surfing Wonder Woman, one of which was a lot of people compare Wonder Woman to Batman in the sense that it was kind of stylized in the early on when they did the episodes from World War II. And plus, Stanley Ralph Ross wrote the pilot, and he was one of the best writers on Batman. But what I didn't realize is that Wonder Woman was in development for television long before Batman.
Oh, yeah, it was. They did a 5-minute pilot way before Batman was on the air. And, of course, they did the Kathy
Lee Crosby.
Yeah, that's right. That's incredible. You remembered. What happened with the Kathy one was it was really horrible, but it did really great ratings.
Yeah.
And so that's when ABC was, they kind of got bitten by the bug about let's do a series on that. And when ABC was doing, they cast Lynda Carter as Wonder Woman, and Douglas S. Kramer went and fought for her because they didn't want her. Not that they didn't want her; she was so green, they weren't sure she could handle a whole series or carry a series. And so he fought for her. She got the role. And then they did kind of like 4 or 5 episodes, kind of like a movie of the week episodes. And then they didn't care. They didn't want to pick up the series. And then CBS and NBC were like, we'll take the series. And then ABC was like, fine, we'll do a series. We'll do a year of it. And so then they did the year of it. And then after that, ABC was like, who cares? We don't care. And then CBS grabbed it and took it to modern day, and it ran for another 2 years on CBS, which I find funny that a network which was getting good ratings for the show didn't really care about the show at all. They did not care about Wonder Woman, and thank goodness it was grabbed up by CBS, so we got another 2 years. Yeah,
I guess part of their indifference was at the time, ABC was already doing the $6 Million Man. They were also doing the Bionic show. So I guess they didn't want to be a superhero type of thing. But you're absolutely right. And of course, this is a subject for another conversation. But why would you purchase a show if you don't know what to do with it?
That's what I kept asking. I was like, why? Then it was like Kramer had no idea. He didn't really understand, and neither do I. I mean, because if you look at the show, it was very stylized when they did the World War years. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was too expensive. I don't really know why. Not that there wasn't a great history with Wonder Woman already before that, and not like Lynda Carter didn't hit Wonder Woman out of the park when she became Wonder Woman, mm-hmm. and the concept and the people are watching it. So it's one of those things in TV history you just don't really have any answers to.
We're talking to Mike Pingel. Mike is the author of Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman, everything you want to know about the classic TV series Wonder Woman starring Lynda Carter, including the first ever complete episode guide to the Wonder Woman television series, plus interviews with Lynda Carter, Joan Van Ark, Stella Stevens, executive producer Douglas S. Kramer, and many more Wonder Woman personnel, plus a ton of information on Wonder Woman's costume design and a whole lot more. You can order Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman, by going to MikePingel.com, Mike Pingel, Pingel.com, as well as Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and wherever books are sold online. You can also find it in your local bookstore by request. If I'm hearing you correctly, Mike, it sounds like if you had to choose between the CBS version and the ABC World War II version of Wonder Woman, you might be partial to the CBS one.
Well, of course. I mean, not only... Well, there were two things with that. The ABC was very much pulled from the comic books. It was very comic booky. The CBS was more modern day. Lynda got to wear a lot of cool clothes. She got to bring down her hair. It was a more hip. I think it was more hip for the 70s, with her being in the 70s. And of course, my favorite episode was aired, which was the Hot Wax, where Lynda sings her songs from her album at the time. So that was, yes, I do enjoy that one, those 2 years a lot better.
I tend to like the ABC one better than the CBS one, although I liked the music for the CBS version. Because they changed the lyrics for the second year to update it. I like that. People,
it was a little bit more disco, more disco, yes.
Yeah. And I like the one with Martin Mull. Or he played the Pied Piper. Of course, that had, I think Eve Plum was in this. So there's your Brady Bunch connection.
Absolutely, Brady Bunch. I love the Brady
Bunch. Let's see. Another interesting factoid is apparently Wonder Woman would not have gotten on television were it not for Brandon Tartikoff.
Yes, he was the man behind it. He's the man who said, let's do it. And he was definitely inspirational. Of course, he became one of the big wigs of television, so he knew a good thing when he saw it. He had that gold touch, and that, of course, went later on with his career in television.
Yeah, and of course, the thing about Tartikoff is that if he believed in the show, he would fight for it. And there don't seem to be enough executives on television, in television today, who do that.
Especially today,
yeah.
Today, it's like if you don't get numbers within the first 10 minutes of your show, you're off the air. Yeah. So television's a lot different than it was in the 70s and even in the 80s. The 70s, I think, really started the whole, fandom from kids, and I think a lot of it has to do with, our fan magazines, and toys started being produced, especially after Star Wars. Toys were produced on everything that came out on television, and most of the movies at the time, too. So, our world, as far as, we were immersed in it. We were playing with the, Bionic Man, Bionic Woman toys, or the Wonder Woman doll, or the Charlie's Angels dolls, and the games, and the action adventure sets. So, I mean, nowadays, there's so much stuff coming at us. In the 70s, it was much more of a quieter, funner television time than today is, because today I don't know when anything's on. Or
We're talking to Mike Pingel. Mike is the author of Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman, everything you want to know about the classic TV series starring Lynda Carter, including the first ever complete episode guide to the Wonder Woman series, plus interviews with Lynda Carter, Joan Van Ark, Stella Stevens, and executive producer Douglas S. Kramer. You can order Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman in bookstores everywhere, as well as Amazon.com, BarnesNoble.com, MikePingel.com, and wherever books are sold online. When did you first meet Lynda Carter, Mike?
I met her in 2007, 2007, I believe, in San Francisco, when she was doing her concert, her kickoff concert, when she brought her music back. And I met her because I was an assistant to Farrah Fawcett at the time, and I got VIP treatment, and we went back and chatted with her and talked with her, and it was a lot of fun. And ever since then, I think I've seen almost every time she's come into town. We've interviewed for lots of her music stuff and her concerts for different outlets I've written for. And, she is just such a sweetheart and a woman who is wonderful and loving to her fans, and so embraces the Wonder Woman of herself and the Wonder Woman the fans love. And she's just a marvelous person that I have been so honored to get to know and talk to. And she's been so nice. I mean, she just did an interview for this book. We weren't able to do an interview for the first release of the book. Mm-hmm. And so this book has a brand new interview with Lynda. And, there's a photo that she gave us. And, I mean, she's just so loving to her fans. And she loves the book. I mean, she even told me, I have some audio of her saying how much she really enjoyed the book. And she learned a lot from it, too. So, I mean, how can I not love someone who said that she loved my book?
That says it all. And you just touched on my next question, Mike, with the way television works, because it reaches so many people at once. An actor can easily become pigeonholed by one role, and some actors, they fight that, and some actors seem to embrace that. Lynda definitely seems to have embraced that.
Absolutely. I mean, I know many actresses, especially Charlie's Angels, my favorite and dear to my heart, and many of the Angels are really great friends of mine. And even for them, during the 80s, they didn't want to talk about their series. They wanted to move on. They wanted to get, on with their career, to find something else that, people would identify them with other than Jiggle TV as far as Charlie's Angels is concerned. But as far as Lynda Carter, here she is coming into an iconic role, making it her own, and not making it into a comical look at the character or something that you would want to laugh at. You believed Lynda Carter when she was Wonder Woman. And so she, as an actress, has embraced that, that she was given this honor to be this iconic comic book character that is adored by all. And, Wonder Woman loves people and is there for everyone's rights and is fighting for everything justice and American. And it's nice that she embraces it.
I understand that the costume was not, it looked great on her, but I understand it was not exactly comfortable when she was filming the show.
No, they actually had, it was more like kind of like a brace or something. And when she had it on, one of the people who worked on the set also worked with Elizabeth Taylor on a movie. And, Elizabeth had all those back problems, and they had built this kind of like a board, so you lay back on a board, so you don't have to sit down, but you can rest. And they actually made that for Lynda also, so she could, didn't have to get out of clothes every single shot, but she could just feel relaxed and kind of rest on that. So, yeah, I think she liked maybe the swimming outfit better because it wasn't as cumbersome.
Or dressing as Diana Prince.
Oh, well, that's true. Her alter ego, of course.
Yeah. Of course, I understand that Lynda had a role in the creation of the famous Wonder Twirl.
Oh, yeah. In the original pilot episode, they did the coming off of the clothes. The twirl and the clothes came off. But the problem was it was so expensive to do. It was a time lapse thing, and it was very pricey for the production company. And Lynda was the one who brought up the idea that there should be just a big bright light, and then she'd come back, it would like dim, and then she'd be in the Wonder Woman outfit. So as she did the turn, as she did a spin, and that was her idea, and they loved it, and it's now a iconic thing. I think even the comic books picked it up at a point for Wonder Woman in the comic books to do. So it was exclusively for the TV show, and then I think it moved on to some of the comics.
Yeah, I would say the Wonder Twirl is almost as iconic as the Golden Lasso. And of course, everyone wishes they had a Golden Lasso in order to force the truth out of people.
Absolutely. Who would not want that? My goodness.
Of course, and again, going back to, I didn't know that. Apparently, there's a connection between Wonder Woman's Golden Lasso and polygraph tests.
Oh, yes. The creator of Wonder Woman created the polygraph test and trying to find the truth, and that's how that came about. There's also a huge thing about who created Wonder Woman. Was the husband or the wife? And I think they both did, but I think it was more the wife created Wonder Woman.
Yes, I was going to say it probably has to do with the feminine mystique.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking to Mike Pingel. Mike is the author of Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman, Everything You Want to Know About the Classic TV Series Wonder Woman, starring Lynda Carter. Our conversation with Mike originally aired in 2012. April 2026 marks the 50th anniversary of the premiere of the Wonder Woman series on ABC. We'll take a quick time out. We'll play more of our conversation with Mike Pingel when we come back here in TV Confidential.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
Ed Robertson thanking you for listening to the TV Confidential podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss our next episode.
This is Irene Sue, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Robertson with a reminder that Kathleen Bradley will join us at the top of the hour. Kathleen Bradley, the first African-American Barker's Beauty on The Price is Right. In the meantime, we mentioned early in the program that April 2026 marks the 50th anniversary of the premiere of Wonder Woman on ABC. With that in mind, we're bringing you an encore presentation of a conversation that originally aired in 2012 with our friend Mike Pingel. Mike is the author of Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman, Everything You Want to Know About the Classic TV Series Wonder Woman, starring Lynda Carter. You can order Channel Surfing, Wonder Woman in bookstores everywhere, as well as Amazon.com, BarnesNoble.com, MikePingel.com, and wherever books are sold online. We touched a little bit about why Wonder Woman took off in the 70s a little bit. Why do you think the character and the show are still popular today?
Well, I think a lot of it is, DC comic and the creation of a continuation of Wonder Woman. And also, it's a strong woman figure. Women love Wonder Woman for that. And, she's justice for all. She is a part of, in a male-dominated comic book superhero world, Wonder Woman stands out. Not only for her beauty, maybe her bust, maybe her gorgeous everything, but she can kick butt. So I think guys like her for that, and women like her for that, and that's probably the reason why and she's just iconic. She has that, Superman kind of iconicness to her that stands the test of time.
What are your thoughts on the David E. Kelly reimagining of Wonder Woman?
It was horrific.
That's what I thought. That's what I agree.
Sad to say, although I love David E. Kelly, I loved what he's done in the past. Ally McBeal and Boston Legal and The Practice, and I mean his work is awesome. And I was curious of how he was going to do it. He has very dry comic humor to himself, and I think it just missed everything. I mean, it missed. I think a lot of it was that people wanted to see, Lynda Carter's Wonder Woman on television, and his Wonder Woman was a little bit more comic booky, a little hard, was very violent and had way too many different lives, I think. She, everybody knew who Wonder Woman was, and she ran the Wonder Woman company that made Wonder Woman toys to fuel her revenge woman work, and it was, I think it missed a lot of things. I think it could have worked if they gone back to simplify it, especially the storyline, just make her, Wonder Woman by day and Diana Prince at night, and have a secret identity and have, I don't know, Starbucks. I don't care. It was just, it was all over the place. I don't know if you saw it, but it's.
I saw enough of it, and I read enough about it in the trade. Here's my deal, Mike. And I have my thing on David E. Kelly is, one, I like that he pushes the envelope in virtually everything he does. But if you look at his shows as a whole, once he latches on to something like co-ed bathrooms and lawyers channeling Barry White in the bedroom or in the bathroom, I mean, he'll take that joke and he'll run it into the ground until it's just no longer funny. And so I was afraid that that's what he was going to do with Wonder Woman, and I was also afraid he was going to make her Ally McBeal, and I understand in one of the early versions that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
But
I was hoping Josh Whedon, I believe it's Whedon.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have done the movie with Lynda Goldberg and all the. I think if he had taken on the reins of it, I think it would have been very iconic and a little bit more where the viewing audience would have wanted to go. So.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand. I mean, look. We talked about this before. You have to understand the material, but you have to understand the audience. And while you always want to do something that reflects your vision, but with something like Wonder Woman that's iconic, you don't want to upset your audience because that's going to kill the show.
Yeah, it definitely does. And although I think there's more legs to Wonder Woman, I think she would come back in a feature film. I think there will be another television series. So. She's not laid to rest at all. She's definitely going to come back. I just think that, unfortunately, this past summer with the one that they created just didn't go. So.
Well, as you say, Wonder Woman has certainly been around, for I guess 7 decades now, and so there's still legs in the old girl, and I agree. I think a movie would work depending on how it's done and how it's put together and who's involved.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Leonard. I speak with Lynda Goldberg in the book because Leonard had the film rights, and they were, really working on a script, trying to get the right kind of combination. And these days, we're not like the '70s where you can just, work it and tweak it and put it on the air. Mm-hmm. We're like the Avenger movies and the Hulk movies, and it has to be CGI and everything has to be over the top, and everything has to. It's just a lot goes into it. And, where do you want to set it? Do you want to, is it going to be in one of the World Wars? It could be today. It's going to be future. So, I mean, we have a lot of more options now today with our films and what we can do than we used to be able to.
Well, as long as they're true to the character. And
I think that's with any of the superheroes. As long as they're true to the characters themselves, the films do work. Mm-hmm. It's when you do not stick the character or the Bible of that character or that TV show, that's when things go awry. And I don't really get why people can't remember that.
Well, the Bible of the TV series Wonder Woman is Channel Surfing Wonder Woman by Mike Pingel, which you can order at Amazon.com, BarnesNoble.com, and wherever books are sold online, as well as Mike's website, MikePingel.com, Pingel, MikePingel.com. Mike, this was a lot of fun. We will definitely have you on again and talk about Charlie's Angels.
Oh, I'd love to. That's my favorite.